cord problems. Maybe you've had that problem too, and not just because I'm on the air. Alright, how's it going, everyone? I am making sure I'm going live on everything. So I don't normally take much vacation time. Maybe you think I do, but I actually don't. I've mentioned this on Twitter recently, but I had something like 4.5 weeks of vacation accrued, and I lost some vacation when it rolled into the new year because only so much carries over, right? So I need to do something about that, and I had some room work to do, which I barely, of course, got done, but I did do a little bit. So I am coming back from 2 days off, which is part of the reason I have to admit, the nice thing about a couple days off is a little bit of downtime. The bad part about a couple days off is you come back having 3 days worth of work to get caught up on. So, so there we are. Just gonna have to bear with me here this afternoon, while we kind of get the show going. Alright, I think I'm on everything here. Yeah, Kokomo Jobo posted the release notes, etc. So that's kind of what's going on. Alright, I think all my streams are now live. I mean, I got like a cat hair in my nose. What a terrible time for that! Okay, I am going to have to turn off my mic and use... Alright, there we are. Now I'm ready to go. Hello, welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I am DDO's community manager, Cordovan, and I'm going to be with you here for the next hour talking a little bit of news. Otherwise, I thought I'd rip through Keep on the Borderlands on my level 5 character here that I'm recently TR'd and I'm leveling up on the stream. That is on Kyber with Armag, so I'm going to be running Keep on the Borderlands all on Elite on my level 5 here today, outside of doing some regular kind of news and talk and what have you. I guess the biggest piece of news is one that we didn't maybe mean to bring out, which is someone saw something in the Adventure Compendium related to the Saltmarsh content update that we are doing in the near future, that being the landscape area. Showed up in the Adventure Compendium, as, you know, happens sometimes because it doesn't get hidden properly or what have you. It's just a display thing. However, there's a mistake in it, which is why I'm talking about that right now. The way it was displayed shows it as a level 23 zone, and so there was a bunch of people who were like, oh my god, level 23 zone. No. 32. 32. And I actually don't think the issue is that it got flipped around. At one point, we were actually considering about making it perhaps a level 23 zone, but we moved away from that idea pretty early on, and it just never got updated in the Adventure Compendium. So that's what's up. Anyway, the level content for the Saltmarsh work will be 3-ish on Heroic. The intention is that it rolls from Keep of the Borderlands 2, if you want it to, which is part of what motivated me to think about Keep here today. And then on Legendary, it'll be 32. So basically anyone over 20 will be good to go. Oh, I think my audio might be kind of loud. Because I was running a raid. Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of raiding. in recent days. Maybe if you happen to stumble on my LFM on Thelanis, you were a part of that group. I know I saw at least one or two people that I recognized from Twitch chat who were in the recent Dryad and the Demigod raids that I did. I did a couple of them on Thelanis, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. I'm basically just taking the first warm bodies to fill up the rest of the group outside of whatever guildies might happen to be on at the time that I'm doing the work. So that's what I'm doing. In recent days, been running some of the Dryad and the Demigod, and I dig it. I hope you do too. I see a patch that happened this morning. I haven't really, because I was on PTO the last couple of days, I have no idea what was in the notes other than what I read this morning. I could go through that stuff, but you can just check it out over on the
you enter the caves
over on the forum.
determined to eliminate another threat to the residents of the keep.
So anyway, that's basically what's up. We had a small patch this week that I had nothing to do with, but I understand does have a couple of raid fixes in it. I've been doing a little bit of LFMing on Dryad and the Demigod. The other piece of news we could mention is I don't yet know what the bonus is going to be for this weekend. That didn't actually get written down yet. I noticed that's one of the things that perhaps didn't get addressed in recent days. Perhaps in part because I was on PTO. But that'll get sorted out here soonish. And so by Thursday morning, we'll have a bonus. I just don't know what it is at the time of broadcast here today. Sorry. Okay. Otherwise, I think that's mostly the news, right? Our anniversary event continues through March 23rd, so plenty of time to do that. I don't know if you've been running the anniversary event. I have to admit, it's been fairly easy this year, especially with that free party punch we gave out. And what have you. It's been kind of a piece of cake. Getting the new stuff, hence I've got the cloak and the crown, and the other cool stuff that's available pretty quickly, but I don't know, maybe you're still running it, and if so, I hope you're digging it. And you've got through March 23rd, so plenty of time on that. Sentient Gem of the Kobold, definitely a good opportunity to pick that up. Acquisition rate, I pulled in, now I'm no super min-maxer, I think everyone is well aware of that. I was able to pull in about 100 and some-ish party favors per hour when I've been doing the anniversary event. And like I said, I'm no like uber min-maxer or whatever. I just go 5 levels over in the event, or chug a party punch and do one of the low-level quests. Perhaps something like, let's say, Butcher's Path, and just raking in a ton of the party favors. However, here's the thing, though. Yeah, it's a little pay-to-win and all, but at the same time, I was not really acquiring a faster rate than I was getting with the just running the anniversary event 5 levels over. So I actually think it's probably likely that the acquisition rate of the party punch is approximately equal to what you would get for just running it anyway, in terms of any kind of pay-to-win concerns there. However, if you are running the party punch, let's just say, without a mind toward party favors, just doing whatever you might do, kind of regular questing, I don't know whatever pace that might be. For some people it's going to be fast, for some people it's going to be slow. Then you probably are acquiring less than you would get from running the anniversary event. Not that we need one-to-one to be a goal here, but I think there might be some consideration in the future about whether we could perhaps up that a little bit. So maybe in future years we're going to see a little bit of a higher percentage return than its current 5%. It's a possibility. So we'll see what happens there.
The red crystal begins to glow, and the sound of stone scraping
Which way
on
am I
stone
going now? I am
echoes out
going
from the goblin's
this way.
common
Yes.
area.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I mean, really, that is the news, as it were. I don't think, at least off the top of my head, I can't think of anything else. If you haven't seen it yet, I would recommend that you check out the new raid music on YouTube. I also have a really cool idea in my head. We'll see if it ends up happening, but I'd say there's a pretty good chance it will. Related to perhaps a community contest that I can talk about in the future. So, but I've got an idea. I've got a plan, and that plan is going to be pretty sweet, I think. So hopefully that plan will happen, and I'll have more to say about it in the future here. Alright, as I'm getting ready to wrap up this quest, let me quick swipe through chat. Can the new accuracy, damage, and tactics augments be added to a store or vendor? I can pass along the suggestion. Nothing to say about that today. Sorry. Use Party Punch, go to TOE. Yeah, that's another total valid possibility. There's lots of opportunity. Like I said, I was just doing the same thing I was doing with the Pirate Grog for the anniversary event. So, or not anniversary event, but Crystal Cove. So I tend to just sort of brainlessly go through low-level harbor quests. In particular, Butcher's Path is kind of my pick if I'm truly doing that, because I can get that done in about, what, 2 minutes? And just recycle through it, and did that for an hour, which is about as much as I could take while having, you know, Netflix and stuff on in the background. And I ended up with something like 106 party favors, which is plenty for the amount of time I spent doing it. Seemed appropriate. And about what I would do normally. Assuming I could get in a group and do about, what, 8-minute anniversary runs. Let me pay attention here. Alright, there we go. Alright. Who was I on in the raids? That would have been my current main, as it were, on Thelanis, who is almost entirely raid flagged now for every raid in the game. And is named Gamogul. That's my main cleric that I've been playing on Thelanis. That's what I've been doing Dryad and the Demigod on. I think a lot of people know that character, which is why, not like I'm anything special or anything, but I think that's frankly why my LFMs fill up within seconds. I assume that's not everyone's experience. If so, then hey, that's great. But I'm just saying, I put up the LFM on Thelanis and got a full raid group in like less than 60 seconds. So. Go me, I guess. Anyway, it's been kind of nice. But I also have been super non-critical. And like in the LFM, I've been just saying, hey, no experience needed. You don't need to know the raid. Anyone's welcome. Come on in. If we fail, whatever. Accept it if you're going to join this group. It's fine. And we haven't been failing. Well, actually, we did fail a couple of times. There were a couple of times on, I guess, Sunday night's raid at the very start. That the group just, you know, was kind of really a lot of fresh faces and not all that familiar with what to do, kind of working as a raid group. And so we did fail a couple of times trying to protect Hawthorne, but otherwise, it's really just been a series of victories. And I've been going in on easy. I've been going in on normal. And like I say, this is my LFMs have been for non-raiders. It's like, hey, do you want to check out the raid, but you don't know how to raid? This is the group for you. Check it out. Anyone could do it. And we've been going in on normal, and like I say, basically getting it done. With a few failures here and there as people kind of figure out, get that initial coordination together, as it were, with a fresh group of just random strangers. And it's been fun, I have to say. I've been having a really good time with it. And I think a lot of the people in the raid groups have also been having a good time. What was really interesting this weekend, because I've been doing this for, I guess, well, whatever, since it came out, right? So, initially, I was teaching people how to do the puzzles. I would generally go in at the start and be like, hey, if you want to just mess around with the puzzle, no one's going to teach you how to do it, just figure it out if you want. And then if anyone needs help, then I'm just going to go in and solve it, right? So that's what I've been doing, is just kind of going in and solving it if I needed to. And then at the end of the raid group, I've tended to say, and here's how you do the puzzles. But between Friday morning and now Wednesday afternoon, the puzzle solver hit the DDO community for the Dryad and the Demigod raid, and it was crazy. As soon, like instantly, as soon as that forum post went out, bam! Nobody cared about trying to solve the puzzle anymore. Everyone was just like, psh, solver. Okay, done. But it was like, I mean, it was really just instant. As soon as, because at the start, people were interested, right? They were like, oh yeah, let me check it out. What do you have to do? What do I do? I'd explain, and they'd be like, oh, okay. And then we'd get through the raid, and it would be fine. And then as soon as that puzzle solver hit the forums, it just, doesn't matter anymore. As soon as you get into the LFM, drop the link to the forum post, and nobody wants to solve the puzzle. I thought that was fairly interesting. Maybe not, but I thought that was kind of crazy, just to watch that happen in real time, as it were. I got the faded leathers, but I'm not wearing that on this character. I am also aware that there are some particularly cheesy tactics happening. Some of those cheesy tactics I'm pretty sure are going to be going away if they are not already. Some of them may have to be fixed in the future. I don't really have anything more to say about that. You know, people are going to do the path of least resistance, and if we left something that we need to address, then, you know, hey, guess that's what we'll have to do then, you know. But nothing really to say about that today, so. Yeah, I'm not getting into details. I'm certainly not going to spread information about how people are cheesing the raid. But, you know, hey, exploit, cheese ban, whatever. The goal, it'll get fixed. So, don't get used to it. But most of the groups that I have been in personally have not really been interested in doing that. Most of especially because of like I said, the goal here is just really, I don't want to say teaching raid, because I'm not really teaching. It's more of a, hey, this is just a chance for you to get in there with a group and a little bit of healing support and all the rest, and just mess around. So yeah, the raids have taken a little longer, but like I said, we've had probably a 95% completion rate. I mean, it's been pretty good. And now, like I say, we've been going in on normal. In part because a few times we went in before there was a full group. And then mostly it's been a full group, so. Alright. Why is the Degenerative Brothers event only on Lamania? There's no particular reason for that. There just isn't much interest in the Degenerative Brothers. Usually, it is around the anniversary time frame that we do it, so I guess perhaps we could turn on Degenerative Brothers. There just isn't much interest in it. It just gives you a little bit of a buff to jump for a little while, and then it is usually tied to the... Although it is not... doesn't have to be, it's usually tied to the return of the Festival of the Traveler, which is kind of the egg jumping event that takes place. But we could turn on Degenerative. Maybe we should, actually. That's a good suggestion. Perhaps I will raise it that we can turn on Degenerative. It doesn't really have any... It's been going on for a long time, and although it does have some particle effects that it brings into the marketplace, it hasn't proven to be a lag concern. So I would imagine that would not be a big concern. But if for some reason I were to hear something from, you know, engineering, then maybe that would change that. In Black Cloak. Oh. There is a very small chance for a tome with the No, not with the Degenerative Brothers, there is. Degenerative Brothers is just the jumping event with the Succubi where you get the 10-minute long jump, like, persistent jump thing. Kind of jump feather fall effect. It's cool. It's a nice little buff. But it's not really all that significant or really anything you gotta... that's worth your time, other than for the cool factor of seeing the show, which is neat. And that's really all it is. That honestly is really all it's ever meant to be as well. It's just... the Degenerative Brothers is just that cool little show, illusion show in the marketplace. And like I say, it's historically been tied then to Festival of the Traveler. Which is usually coming out about Easter, which is... pretty soon here. Oops.
While one of their members scampers away. You slide through the muck and refuse into a pool of stagnant slop. It's just not your day.
Yeah. Alright, sorry, I've been ignoring Facebook and YouTube. Let me take a second to go through chat there. Are there plans to make more packs and expansions available in the Steam store? Nothing to announce there. I have not heard of any plans to further expand our offerings in the Steam store. So, I guess that's the latest on that.
Now that king rat is dead, long live the new king. You. The first order of business might as well be to convey your domain.
Was I talking about the new Feywild raid? Yes, I was. Yes, I was. The Dryad and the Demigod, out now. You don't need to flag for it, and you get it from speaking to Hearsome, the owl, who's kind of back behind the second arc quest NPCs in Winwood Hall. Alright. Let me see what... Someone is talking on Facebook about... Oops, sorry. Communication expectations during raids. So part of what I did in my LFM is... I do think it's important to lay clear ground rules, but I think once you do that, you can get pretty darn casual with it. For example, I specifically said in my LFMs that you're welcome to use voice chat, but I'm not giving directions and stuff over voice chat. We'll be using text for whatever we want to talk about. Of course, then I, you know, break my rule and start talking, and then everyone's like, oh my god, are you Cordo? And, you know, but that's how it goes sometimes when I'm just kind of random plugging. But that's the way I did it. So you're right, that communication does need to be done, but I don't think that it's necessary for Dryden the Demigod, at the very least, that you have voice chat enabled. I think you can do it just fine over text, regular party chat. Unless you're having a chat disconnect issue, which is something we're working on, in which case then voice would be good, or whatever else you might be able to do. I have to admit, also, I had one brief chat disconnect in recent days, but otherwise I have not. So I don't, at least on my personal experience on Thelanis, for whatever little that's worth or whatever, I wasn't having any chat disconnect issues, so that sucks for those of you who do. Oops. Most raid groups are in Discord channels now. Yeah, that's true too. I actually saw some of that when we were doing text chat. People were like, yeah, let's just drop it in this Discord or whatever. I don't think we actually ended up needing to do that. The nice thing actually I found about the new raid is though it does take some amount of communication, it's not something like, say, Deathworm, maybe, where you have to do a lot. Maybe more time-based communication. I had no real issue with people just sort of figuring it out after a little text chat at the start. Because you got some flexibility in terms of timing in that. The dance-off was the thing that probably got more people than anything else. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, in the new raid there's a section where you need to mimic certain keystrokes. And, if you need to go forward, you have to have W down. However, you do not have to, make sure I'm getting in place. You do not have to only have that key down. So, for example, if you're running or whatever, you could do like W and A for forward. Or if you're, or W and D or whatever. Or shift and W. I saw a bunch of people blocking, and that works, although of course you can't really fight so well when you're in the middle of blocking. So I actually tended to circle strafe around during the dance-off sections while I was fighting mobs and stuff. But not everyone wanted to do that, and I noticed a bunch of people were just shield blocking through it, making sure the right key was pressed. And that does work. That does work, actually, so maybe that,
You notice a small iron key in the corner of the room.
maybe that's what you're doing, I don't know. Alright, let me head over to Facebook chat a little bit better. Have we thought about partnering with someone like Discord? I mean, thought about it? Yeah, sure, at some point, that stuff's come up. I don't know, though. There's too many options out there. I think at the moment, we're far better off letting the community use the plethora of tools that are already widely in use by the community to get the job done to some extent, rather than to try to do our best to mimic what's already being done easily, quickly, and enthusiastically by the community to some extent. However, there is, as you say, there are people who are like, I don't want to use Discord, I just want it all to be in the game. And there's nothing at all wrong with that either. So who knows what the future will bring. But it doesn't seem that likely that we would, say, partner with a specific text chat provider in that in 2021. It just doesn't make a lot of sense for a company like ours to do something like that. Alright. Can you use a rune arm with single weapon fighting? Yes. Depending. There are ways you can get that to work, like Bard Swashbuckler and things like that. You'll have to do a little research before you do it, but yes, you can. Alright. Where else we got? The thought has come up about... So someone's asking about female-gendered Warforged. It's, you know, technically Warforged have no gender and they express whatever gender they wish. So, by Eberron lore and such. So, you don't actually need to gender your Warforged at all. And in fact, they don't technically have a gender. Although, I think a case could be made that in DDO, they seem awful male-presenting. And perhaps we could do something about that. The thoughts come up over the years, but I have not heard of any immediate plans to do something.
You can hear the rumble of the sealed doors sliding open.
Alright. Also on YouTube, what about removing flagging requirements for older raids? Typically, when we have an opportunity to readdress some of that stuff at a core level, that is our preference as well. To make flagging as minimal as possible. Now, we tend to encourage you to run the content in order for the story, but we try to limit the requirement to run it in order more frequently than we maybe used to. So I think there is an opportunity to remove flagging for some of those old raids when we can. But when we would do that is typically only if we happen to have the time and are typically working on the content anyway. You can't really just flip a switch. You typically want to do things like you need to create a new vector NPC at the very least. A new NPC to kind of guide you around and do some things. And there is some work that has to be done, so you can't just kind of... it's not like a 15-minute fix. Which is why that stuff historically hasn't happened. But we'll see. We did do it to some extent for the subterranean stuff, although we could even do more there too. And I think that if we were to do something like Restless Isles in the future someday, we would clearly have to address flagging and getting around to the raid and pre-raiding quests as part of the core change there.
The door to the treasury opens with a satisfying click. The large rusty lock on this chest looks like it could be picked.
It's a nice little docent and equivalent armor. I don't think I've got a key. If I have a key, I'm just gonna pick that chest. Otherwise I won't. Oh, I do! Speaking of things I got from Daily Dice. For me. Alright, there we are. Jack over on YouTube asks, in the last stream we saw the possible mount storage. Will that be like companions? So if you get one of the mounts, it'll be shared with all other characters on the server. I think that remains to be seen, although I think that is the intended possibility. That we be in a position to maybe let you know, do that for like store purchases, what have you, and then also have the ability. Really, I don't have, you know. Oh, did I already run this? Oh, I just haven't turned it in. Is that what's up? Okay, yeah, that's what's up.
Small, squalid cave entrances dot the ravine walls. These must be the caves of chaos.
Can I get up there? I'm gonna have to kind of work my way. Darn it. I know, I'm kind of all over the map. That's because I got a spotlight in my face, and I'm not... It's kind of hard to see my monitor right now. I'm bombing on getting around, keeping the Borderlands. But I'm, you know, whatever. Deal with it. Actually, this way. Oh, there's my bridge. There's my bridge. Okay. Cool. Go. I think that is a possibility, however. That basically you could adopt a mount that would just appear in your mount UI. Additionally, you could, say, get a mount from a chest that might be bound to character, and that would therefore perhaps not grant it to your full account. But I think the flexibility is there to perhaps do either, although I don't know that they've actually gotten that far in the process as well. So it's possible that it's just too early on that.
This crest matches one of the sockets on the Minotaur's barrier. There must be more.
I know,
somewhere.
slow and steady wins the race here. So, rather than die to a fire blast on the live stream, how about I actually take an extra couple seconds? But to your general point, however, I do think it's actually going to work fairly similarly to the creature companion stable. I think some of the core guts of it are actually based upon the creature companion stable. Who am I and what did I do with Cordo? What do you mean? What did I do? What did I do? More plans for more classic modules? Oh yeah. I think, frankly, ever since we released, Haunted Halls of Evening Star, I think the intention is that as long as people keep wanting them, we'll keep making them. And you seem to keep wanting them, and we love making them. So, I mean, come on, right? How cool. How cool as a bunch of D&D nerds for us is it to take these classic adventures and bring them to our game? I mean, it's just like... legit the coolest thing ever. So, you know. We love doing it. And as long as you love us doing it, I see none of that changing anytime soon.
This should be enough crests to fill all of the sockets on the Minotaur's barrier.
I think, personally, I think Expedition to the Barrier Peaks would be... It's come up for, what, more than a decade now as, like, one we should do. I don't know, myself, that I would personally recommend that we try to tackle Expedition to the Barrier Peaks, which is, like, the world's most gigantic module of 1st edition. where you go into a spaceship, you got laser guns, you got all sorts of cool stuff. And it is a neat adventure. It's one of my favorites from childhood. I've got the OG First Ed module still with me. But I think trying to bring that to DDO would be a lot. Not that, like, Isle of Dread won't be. Isle of Dread's going to be a lot of work, too. But that's cool. We've already talked about our plans for that, right? So, I wouldn't pick Expedition to the Barrier Peaks, but I know why people like it. Laser guns. But then, come on, we're going to have laser guns? You have to drop them on the way out or something? I don't know. Seems like it might be a thing that would be a little... something we'd have to sort through, as it were. So... Tomb of Horrors is probably the other one that comes up more often than anything else. That would certainly be, a possibility someday in the future. Who knows? Who knows, right? Could happen.
Cultists and their monster allies have made their base.
By the way, I was actually looking for... I don't even know why I was. I was looking at the Expedition to the Barrier Peaks module a while back. And in particular, I was looking... because one of the things it really featured, and I recall, I think even at the time, maybe there was a little cost premium associated with it at retail. Which was that you had to... it had all sorts of, like, full-color illustrations. And it had, like, I think, like, a 24-page art book, right? That you would use as the DM to show people the different laser guns and spacecraft and all that sort of thing. And, spaceship parts. And I was looking at all of that old art, and all I could say is, man, that old first edition art is great stuff. It also is really of its time. Really of its time. It's cool. It's neat. But it's really of its time. In a pretty ridiculous way.
You notice an expensive-looking gem embedded in the throne made of human bones. As you pluck out the gem, you hear the soft scraping of bones. The dead rise.
The pseudo-dragon voice from Needle in a face stack made into a full-blown sentient jewel. Theoretically possible. Haven't heard of any plans to do that. Alright.
The passage ahead is blocked by a cave-in. About 20 man-months would be enough to dig through it. Or 5 dwarf months, give or take.
Will Iconic Shifter be available in the DDO store before the next season of Hardcore? I don't know. I will ask about that, however. It seems like something we should probably do, huh? I would need to... I mean, obviously I'd need to check with people who aren't me on that, but... certainly something we should take a look at and have an answer for. Alright. I'm just going through chat. Okay, I think I am caught up. So we only have about 10 minutes left on the show. I did want to mention a quick programming note that one of the things I'm going to be doing related to DDO stream is no longer support hosting. I think I talked about that a couple weeks back. But as such, I believe that Samus Garobo is going to be still a friend of the channel, still someone we all love and love to support. But I think Samus is going off the schedule. His show won't be though, so you can still just watch the show, and I'd encourage you to do so as he follows the noob. But I'm going to be opening up further hosting or further shows on DDO stream, including some recurring shows. I've got a couple streamers who have long wanted to do more than one show a week. And in order to facilitate that, what I'm doing is I'm going to be dropping the host possibility. The other reason I'm going to be doing that, frankly, is because well, I have talked about this before, but the reality is nobody watches hosted shows on DDO stream. Never have, never will. So, you know, regardless, you should all check out Samus's show, and that's going to be over on Samus Garobo. Twitch.tv/Samus Garobo. I don't know why when we will be releasing Fables of the Feywild in the DDO store was not listed in the pre-order or pre-purchase text chat. That is not a discussion that I am normally really privy to.
Then a strange, slurpy sound coming from behind the crates.
All I know is I noticed, too, that it wasn't listed, and ultimately it'll be released in the store, and then I will be notified that it'll be released in the store, and then I will let you know. So that's kind of how the process is going to work there. You know what? No. I am not going to do this. I lost my mojo and willingness to do it. So what do I actually do? Okay, that's wrong. Actually. I've just been putzing around the quest while talking. Weekend bonus. I don't know the weekend bonus yet. I'm coming back from a couple of days off, and one of the consequences of that is I don't have a weekend bonus ready to give to you today. I don't know what it is. It's not currently listed on the calendar. So, between now and tomorrow at 10 a.m., we're going to have to figure that one out, and I'll let you know. Maybe an opportunity to let me know what you want? Question mark? What would you like to see for the weekend bonus? We've kind of done the big gamut of it because of the anniversary and such recently, so I'm not sure that there's a kind of an easy go-to in terms of the weekend bonus that hasn't happened recently. So, I don't know. What do you think? +1 loot boost. No, I'm kidding. We won't do that.
Unseen voices murmur from the shadows of this chamber. Take us, take us with you. Take us away. No, get away. Don't do it. Take the shinies. As you pick up the shiny golden table, the murmur of the voices rises to a triumphant chant.
Champion Hunter, huh? Seems to be the most popular one, huh? So do you mean Champion Hunter as in the items with the vendor, or Champion Hunter as in Double Mysterious Remnants boost, where you get twice as many remnants when you defeat a champion. Crafting bonus, been a while. Yeah, it has. I don't know that there's a lot of interest in our crafting bonuses in general. I think every time I usually announce that, people are like, oh, crafting bonus. Mimic Hunt has been a little while. We have to do some work on Mimic Hunt before we bring it back, I think. Yes, we do have a named loot boost. That's the Treasure Hunters boost. Actually, that's not a named loot boost. That's, yeah, we don't have a raw chance of named loot that you can get. But we can boost the quality of the loot with our Treasure Hunters boost. And we actually had one of those not too long ago. Because of the anniversary where we had a kind of a plethora of bonuses, we've pretty much run through them all within the past month and a half or so. Increased party favors boost, that is what we had last weekend. That is called a challenge rewards boost. I don't think I'm going to be able to spot this. Well, I could try it. So, let me... Oh, actually, I don't know. What else should I do? Maybe I should do something else. I only have 5 minutes. I don't even know if I'm getting through this quest by the end of the... Sure. But I think I'm going to have to unless I can spot that. So... Yeah. Let's give it a shot. Huh? 'Cause I can't... I'm just a measly little fighter without any spot. Actually, yeah, that. No, I can't search the secret door. That was my problem. Although it looks like it's not a problem now. It'll open for me. The challenge rewards boost does apply to the anniversary. It does. Go. I keep on forgetting how I'm supposed to do this one. So that is like this, right? And then this goes on. And then this goes like that. Nope. Like that. Okay, that's got to be off. So, there we go. Oh, no! Ah! Fine. It did apply this time around. I saw the email chain. So, there was a question about whether it was supposed to apply or not, but we had our QA team go in. It looks like it had not been set correctly on every world initially, but by about Friday morning, Friday early afternoon, it was set correctly to provide the challenge rewards boost. They had it set from 12 to 14 on the max throughout the weekend. Okay, well, if you're only getting 12, I don't know what to say about that. Other than, like I say, I saw the email chain, even though I was on vacation. I saw the email chain on it. And I saw someone from QA say they checked it out and redid the thing, so. Good timing, me. Alright, well, again, I was on PTO. I just saw the email thread. If we didn't get that done, then I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll have to figure out what went on there. If, let's say by Saturday afternoon, if you were still only getting 12 while running 5 levels over instead of 14, then clearly it was not set correctly. All right. We should make the black unicorn sparkles purple. They're currently white and it doesn't look right. I don't know. I think it looks pretty cool, but sure. I can pass along the suggestion there. And then finally, let's see. Is there a link with my character build and equipment? Nah, it's just a plain fighter. I've talked about it on the show before. I will make a note to do a status update on that next week. So, and someone wants a Reaper XP boost. That's usually a pretty popular one too. Perhaps we could do something like that. So, all right, thank you very much for watching the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I will see you next week with more news and whatever else is going on. So, talk to you soon. Have fun.